Hello guys, today we will show you how to make a simple animation climbing parkouring system. It's not yet finished, but we have it in a very okay state. So we have vaulting and climbing. So if you want to vault, you can do it only from the front or the back. You cannot do it from the sides. As you can see here, I'm running and nothing happens here or here, but when I go from the front, you can see the animation gets triggered. Or if I go just walking, I cannot vault. It's okay, the animations are still very primitive. We're doing it just for the showcase. And we have the climbing too, so we have to run and press space and then we get to climb. But if we go here and there is nothing we can do just by walking or just by sprinting, there is nothing. So if I go to the side and nothing happens again, but only to the front, I can actually climb. So let's see how to make it. It's relatively very simple, and as you will ever imagine, all happens with triggers. So let's see the example of vaulting and then we will go into the code. First we will see like how is the setup. You see we have a barrier here, let's say this wall. It has whatever like box collider, very generic stuff. And here we have another collider which is trigger, and we have that script that is the whole core of our system. As you can see here, it has trigger keys, custom made. These are shift, moving in direction. We have control, shift, space, and direction. Basically, you can do it whatever you want in your case. And here we have the trigger facing direction, which means where we want our player to face according to the object. For example, here as you can see we say front and back. As you can see, the barrier here front is the blue arrow and the back is the opposite of the blue arrow. So we say that the player can vault only if he is looking in the same direction the barrier is looking or the opposite. So that means if we go forward or backwards against the barrier. And that triggers, as you can see here, the vault animation. Also we have a very tiny boolean here, ignore collision, which means that if we run towards the barrier, our player collider will collide against the barrier and will create some confusion there. So just because of that, we want to ignore the collision while we are on this event, the vaulting event. Same thing goes here into the climbing, but instead we have space, moving in direction, front, and climb. So basically let's see what happens if we remove the move in direction. You might have guessed it, but yeah, it will go here and press jump. Oh yep, okay. There is nothing to do with the program. We have with the animation and with the code of the... Anyway, it will word accordingly, so ignore that for a moment. Let's see the animation trigger and let's see why that happened together. So the animation trigger here has what you have seen: trigger keys, trigger facing direction, animation type, and ignore collision. Animation type is all those and the trigger keys are all those. So now the whole computation is happening here. That's why, by the way, we saw that they didn't, the animation didn't trigger. Yeah, because we cannot jump if we are not running, in our case. But anyway, yeah, because the trigger here is at the top. If it were a bit more down, it will trigger. But anyway, so the whole thing is here on trigger, on event trigger. if it's in an event, if it's not in an event, and the collider we're colliding with is the animation trigger tag, which we have assigned here, it's a custom tag created, then check the combination of keys. So check move in any direction, that means that, or control, that means that, or shift, that means that. You can do it with the new input system or the old, or you can do it with whatever your input system is, but you get the basic idea. And then you have the direction that we need to match in order to execute. So if it's in any direction, you can do it whatever the case you want. As you can see here, we're doing the opposite. So we say that if it's not okay, then return. So to break the function on trigger enter. But if it does not break, it continues to trigger the event. And by triggering the event, we set triggers into the animator, such as vault and jump. And yeah, we get the name of the type, the animation type, which we said that they are non-vault and climb. And is an event, we set it to true. And now our thing here is something that I tweaked it in order to work everything smoothly. As we have seen in like so many games, when you go vaulting something, it triggers an event, and the player cannot move until the vault finishes. That's exactly what we emulate here. We want the same speed and the same direction to be to not change until the animation is finished, the event. And here's the other flag, the ignore collision, that ignores a collision just for the event to play and finish. And once it gets finished, if you exit the same collider that you entered, then disable the event and disable the ignore collision thing. So yeah, pretty straightforward code. Here we are adjusting the angle of the direction. So yeah, you have seen front, back, left and right. AT stands for the objects animation trigger. So yeah, you get to transform and you match the player's forward position. That might have created a question for you. What if I am looking that way, but I'm going that way? So it's forward to the vault, but not in the game. Again, it happens because we have the move any direction trigger key, which means press whatever key you want in order to execute. So you have to move and sprint. That way you will vault as slow as you want, as you wish. So yeah, I hope it's helpful. I will release the code in Pastebin or in GitHub or in the comments. Feel free to use it in your game. I hope it helps. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. It still needs some fixing. Here we haven't implemented it yet, so yep. That's it.